getting money. I'm just getting money. Money making good, my money need a lot. I'm just getting money. I'm just getting money. Money making good, my money need a lot.
Hey, yo. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Coach Ricks, and his favorite host, co-host, Mike the Legend. What's going on, big dog?
What's going on, Cat?
Not much, man. Not much, man. Hey, I know this is unusual for us to jump in on a Friday, but some shit dropped that I had to address.
Let's address it, Coach.
That I had to address. What's going on, seatbelt? What's going on? Hey, man, before we get started, you guys know what to do. Please hit that like button, hit that red subscribe button, man. Like the videos, ring the bell, so you won't miss any content that I got going forward. We are officially 307 subscribers deep. We hit a growth spurt in a matter of a few days. It was 291, now it's 307. So I appreciate all the love. You guys don't know, man. It means a lot to me because it means that we are doing great things on the podcast, having great content, and got great guests as always. So, Mike, it seems like the SEC media, man, just keep poking the bear. It just keeps poking. I just don't know what it is.
Keep poking that bear, and you can only poke the bear so many times before the bear will bite you.
Before we address it, I'm gonna play the clip. They got it. Someone sent it to me. They're like, Coach, you gotta respond to this. I want to see it. I want to see what you, Bishop, and whoever else is on the panel, which is going to be you today, how you guys address this and how you tackle it. So, Kimberly K and David, welcome to the show. Seatbelt. This is what was said today. All right, and it's gonna shock me because after you hear what they say, I'm gonna give you some stats and everything to back up why I feel like John Mateer is not a gamble for Oklahoma. All right, let me play this right quick. All right, it's gonna crack you up, Mike. It's gonna crack you up, Mike. All right, here we go.
We had one coach that gave an anonymous quote to Athlon talking about Jean Mateer. Go ahead and check this out really quick. I want to read this off for y'all. Quote, "It's a huge gamble that Mateer can come in and immediately acclimate to playing against the defenses in this league. We'll see if he can do it because that's what will determine this staff's future." All right, so there's a lot there. My first thought, though, when I read that, am I missing something? Jean Mateer gamble for Oklahoma? Gamble. The gamble that he hasn't played against the SEC? Okay, I guess I could hear that. Is it more of a gamble than rolling out there with what you had in that quarterback room? That last year, we all understand, was not nearly up to par. Say what you want about Jackson Arnold. Say what you want about Michael Hawkins Jr. John Mateer is an upgrade. And that's not me being on the John Mateer hype, which we very frankly have been the conductor of here for some time. Is a gamble? What's the gamble here? Is it a gamble from a talent perspective? I don't think so. Dude who accounted for 44 touchdowns last year. A dude who was arguably the best quarterback in the transfer portal, depending on how you feel about Carson Beck. I don't think so. Okay, was it a gamble that you put him with the same offensive coordinator and quarterback coach that he had that production with at Washington State? To me, feels like a pretty safe bet. Feels like a relatively as sure thing as you can have via the portal with a new offensive staff. Think about it this way. If you didn't bring in John Mateer and you brought somebody else in, you're gambling they can not just play in the SEC, whoever they were. You're gambling they can mesh with this new offensive system from spring into fall camp by game one for the schedule that Oklahoma has. I want a dude who's been with me with the live bullets flying in that system. I want a guy who's running the offense that he's running. And John Mateer has run that system at Washington State. And again, I told you, ran it at a top 15 level when it came to the points per game that Washington State was scoring. I don't get this at all. Like, to me, I'm not holding my breath with John Mateer if he's going to be any good. I think he's going to go nuts at Oklahoma. Like, why? Because he went nuts. Because he has, I think, better weapons than what he had at Washington State. Now, the schedule is what would
Thank you.
It's tentative, but I'm not so worried about John Mateer and can he play in the SEC. We know he can play. My question is everything else around him. Can the offensive line be good enough? You're not gambling on John Mateer. In fact, I think you are banking on John Mateer as your sure thing. Your offensive line and them being good enough is what the gamble is. I think your defense with Brent Venables and him being able to replace that leadership with a Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman, that's, to me, much more of a gamble. John Mateer is, again, where I'm putting my chip. Also, we'll say this too. The gamble for Miami when they took Cam Ward from Washington State, a guy who had never played against the ACC before. I get it. Different conferences, different number of draft picks from those conferences, but worked out okay for them, I would say. Also, if you're gambling on somebody, you're gambling on someone that you are very, very familiar with if you're Ben Arbuckle. Okay? It's a gamble in the sense that you're bringing him into your football team to play in a new conference, but it's not a gamble in the sense of, well, what are we getting with this guy? You've had him on your roster for several years at Washington State. You know what you're getting this guy. I think that was a big reason why John Mateer was the guy at Oklahoma. So Oklahoma could have gone after somebody else in the portal. They went after the guy they felt good about. So John Mateer, anonymous coach saying he's a gamble. I don't see that at all. Again, I don't know what coach is saying this. I don't know what level coach is saying this. But to me, the gamble would be sticking with what you had in that room and saying, okay, just because you played in the SEC a year ago, we trust you to go out there and be better than you were last. No, that's not how this works. So I trust John Mateer. I think he'll be phenomenal. I think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC next year. Full stop.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, before we all go crazy, hold on. Let me cancel this. Hold on. I'm gonna cancel this. All right. This is one thing that I want to address before we start going crazy. All right. Comparison. Diego Pavia transfer from New Mexico State.
Yep.
Came in last year. Wasn't a gamble. Didn't hear anything about a gamble.
Let it up.
Didn't hear anything about a gamble. But this is what Diego did to transfer from New Mexico State. Not Washington State, New Mexico State. He came into the SEC, Associated Press, Newcomer of the Year, AP All SEC Second Team, USA Today's SEC Newcomer of the Year, SEC Newcomer of the Year, Maxwell Award semifinalist, Davey O'Brien Award semifinalist, Manning Award watch list, Maxwell Award watch list, Birmingham Bowl MVP. Now check this out. Finished the season 177 for 298 passing yards. 177 for 200. 177 of 298 passing for 2,292 yards, 20 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. Ran for 800 yards and scored 8 touchdowns on the ground. Accounted for a school record 5 touchdowns in the Birmingham Bowl game. Now, here where it gets interesting. Led the Commodores on the ground versus South Carolina with 12 rushes for 177 yards and a touchdown. Became the 13th starting quarterback since 2004 to beat Auburn and Alabama in the same season. Recorded a team high 16 carries for a net gain of 167 yards and scored 3 touchdowns and rushed for 2 passing against Texas. So Diego came in from a lesser school than John Mateer, but he wasn't a gamble. But John Mateer comes in 3,139 passing yards against better competition than what Diego did at New Mexico State. But John Mateer is the gamble. Now, here's the question I want to know. What asinine coach from the SEC said that?
Exactly.
I got two guesses.
Beamer?
No.
No, Beamer wouldn't do that.
Go ahead, coach.
One is a sorry ass makeup artist at Missouri.
Oh, drink.
Or the quarterback or the person that just left Oklahoma that has a lot of hate for Oklahoma right now. That's at Tennessee.
Oh, Seth Luttrell.
Because who else is going to say that?
Exactly.
So it's crazy. When I heard that, man, that's crazy. So now I'm gonna let you guys have y'all take on that. What do you guys think?
You want to start, Becky?
Yeah, hey, when you're living rent free in people's mind because they know the truth will set them free.
Yes, sir. A to the man.
That's what's going on. Because see, you wouldn't be saying that knowing good and well they're intimidated at what's coming down the pipe. Because understand, it'd be different if Mateer just came by himself. He came with the quarterback coach and his offensive coordinator. They know that the total package came, so they know the system. It's us that's being, coming along and learning right with them. And now he's actually the key orchestrator to coordinate this offense. That's a bad man.
Coach, I'm
Yes,
going
sir.
to keep this G-rated so all the kiddies can enjoy it.
Okay.
But I have listened to you and Bishop and Jason and Jay from Unfair Sports and Coop, all the leading podcasters on YouTube world. And y'all say the same thing about John Mateer, except I'm going to put my little country spin to it.
Good.
It don't matter if he played for Washington State or the Little Rabbit Australia fighting dingoes. Talent is talent. It don't matter if he's playing in the ACC, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, the Hicktown local mafia 12, etc. Talent is talent. And John Mateer has proven he's got tape on him. He has everything on him, that he is a natural born leader. And I stress that leader with all caps. Even though he's Baker Mayfield-esque, he has that leadership quality about him that's going to gravitate the other players to him, making better cohesion, making better players who was kind of average. He's gonna bring out the best of the O-line, the wide receivers, the running back room, the fullbacks, the tight end. He's going to bring out their best. How was that assessment?
Hey, I'm gonna do something, man, that's gonna crack you guys up. As in the famous words of my boy Shannon Sharp, he can be driving a boat, he can be riding a goat, he can be sporting a raincoat. Soon as in the CFP. Soon as in the CFP.
Yeah.
You a lot of this stuff, man, people just make up for clicks because they know how we're going to react.
Exactly.
They know how we're going to react. When you attack one of us or one of ours, I can see just say we don't know how he's going to react and how he's going to respond to a different defense. But here's one thing that I do know for a fact. If you're going up against what is said to be one of the best defensive coordinators, that is said to have one of the best defensive line this year, if you're going up against that every single day, how are you not going to be great if you're going up against that same great defense every single day when Brent Venables is throwing so many different looks at you? If you can go against that defense, you can pretty much be prepared for what's going to be thrown at you.
Exactly.
So I get it, but check this out. Transfers from a group of five that have transferred to a power five. Excuse me, a power four. Taylor Green transferred from Boise State to Arkansas. You ain't heard anything about it. Might be a gamble. Diego Pavia, of course, New Mexico State to Vanderbilt. You didn't hear anything about him being a gamble.
Nope.
Grayson McCall transferred from Coastal Carolina to North Carolina State. You ain't heard anything about him being a gamble. Max Brosner from New Hampshire transferred to Minnesota, a Big Ten school. You ain't heard anything about him being a gamble. So it's all about Oklahoma. All the attention is pointed toward Oklahoma. Why?
Yeah.
Because Jesse says, hold on. Jesse says, I heard on the SEC podcast that we had the worst offensive line in the SEC, and our wide receiver corps was bad. And they don't think we have addressed those issues. What do you guys make of that? How do we stack up now?
We're stacked.
Well, I'm gonna say this. In the famous words of Donald Trump, that's fake news, that's fake news, that's fake news.
And I'll approve this message.
That's fake news.
I approve it.
Because who else is getting this type of hoopla in the SEC?
Nobody.
Come on, man. Documentation, conversation, man.
I'm just being honest. Who's getting a lot of the negativity pointed at them? Because they see the writing on the wall. They do not want Oklahoma to succeed. No. They are terrified that Brent Venables will get this monster going, and then it's going to be a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I Jesse, anytime, Jesse, anytime. Any question you want to drop in, man? Any question that you guys want to drop it in. We'll answer it.
Yeah. Ahead, Bishop, what I will say, Jesse, the reason they even bringing that up, because they knew if we had any semblance last year of any one of those areas, we would be at least two more games winning percentage. So now that we're gone and we're going into this new season, we are living rent free in their head. And if they want to hold on to that, keep those receipts and keep that same energy. Because when this season come in, I want that same energy when everything goes down.
Me too. Well, Bishop, I say that, and Coach, I say this time and time again. Oklahoma has gone through negativity ever since I can remember when I became a fan in 1971. We got this negative bullseye on our back that it's Oklahoma against the friggin' world. And anytime that we're down and we're starting that slow rise back up, the narrative since 1971 has not changed. They want to make excuses out the book of why we're going to be bad. But piggybacking off of you, Bishop, last year, our wide receivers were dropping like flies. Our offensive linemen were dropping like flies. Injury. We had 2 non-competent play callers up in the play booth that didn't know come here from Sickle. Now that we have Ben Arbuckle calling the plays, now that we have Brent Venables calling the plays on the defense, Oklahoma's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm sorry, and that's not. I've got the crimson and cream glasses off. I'm looking at what BV and Arbuckle have before them. That's on their plate of food that they're fixing to have for supper. And let me tell you something. It's prime rib with the au jus and everything and all the trim.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, Jesse. Big salute.
Big salute, Jesse.
Yeah. But you know the thing is, I'm talking to my family. The truth of the matter is, they wouldn't mention you if they didn't know themselves, and they're trying to start a narrative so that they can see if we really believe it like they do, because they're worried. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be mentioned in their mouth, and they'd be concerned about what they got going on.
And Bishop, Coach, you us three, we're cut from the same cloth per se.
Yeah.
And our mamas somewhere in our lives, in our youth, has always said the one who's the most scared does the most talking.
Yep.
Same goes with this, and same goes with this right here. That's being the ones who are most scared is the ones doing the most talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's my family advice for the
day. No, hey, I love it because the simple fact is, it's telling us without us having to say it ourselves that we're onto something. and they can see it, and it's a concern of them because they realize, okay, they already had defense, but if they bring the offensive quarterback coach and the OC and John Mateer all from the same system, it won't be long for them to assimilate and get everybody on the same page. And then you still have that defense that's constantly being retooled in the fire. There's, I'm telling you now, the reason we're living rent free in their mind is because there's substance to that thought.
Yep.
Hey, can I read y'all something?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
From the Greenville News. When Clemson football coach Dabo Sweeney released Wes Goodwin to hire the new defensive coordinator from, I think they said, they didn't say who. Wes Goodwin has been on the trail in Eastern South Carolina and Eastern North Carolina, recruiting at a high level for the University of Oklahoma. He has been to 135 homes in the Eastern Seaboard trying to recruit players to the University of Oklahoma. When I tell you, no. When I tell you there's bad blood between him and Dabo, I'm trying to keep it real peaceful, man, because I do have a brother-in-law that works there, so I don't want to, but it's becoming well known here on the eastern side of Charlotte that he is trying to out-recruit the new recruiter at Clemson to get players to go to Oklahoma.
So what you're telling me, we got a new recipe for gumbo, and everybody's on the take and is on the menu. Go figure. And the way they treated him on the way out and the way they waited on certain things to matriculate, documentation beat conversation. Ain't no fun when that rabbit has the gun.
Hey, look, I'm I just don't understand what that person or that coach thought was going to, how this was going to play out by saying that Southern Cowboy says Clemson will be okay. They may get a 5-star linebacker in Atkinson and 5. Hey, they need to get all they can. They really do, because Clemson is, dude, look, that's why I tell people, you think South Carolina gonna be good this year? Nope. When Clemson opened up that checkbook, all those guys that was going to South Carolina and cross the border because they were getting paid there, they ain't crossing that border no more. They're going to Greenville, South Carolina. Not Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. They going to Clemson now. Thank you. They go to Clemson and they go to Georgia. So those years of South Carolina thinking that they're going to get 9 and 10 wins every year, shit. Thank you. Hey, I live an hour from South Carolina Stadium. I mean, from South Carolina campus. And there ain't no buzz right now. There ain't no buzz because Dabo opened up the checkbook. And let me tell you, those donors at Clemson, they give a lot more than Columbia gives to South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, but let me give you some more stats. John Mateer against Oregon State, he was 17 of 23 for 250 yards. He had 14 carries for 95 yards. And these are only against quality opponents. I keep hearing, oh, he just played again. So I'm only going to use quality opponents. Boise State, he was 26 of 37 for 327 yards, 20 carries for 128 yards. Against Washington, 17 of 34 for 245 yards. He was 16 carries for 62 yards. Against Texas Tech, he was 9 of 19 for 115 yards, but he had 21 carries for 197 yards. If OU would have had that production last year, OU in the CFP.
Yeah.
Period.
No doubt.
I don't
No
know how
doubt.
many. I don't know how many games Jackson Arnold had over 100 yards passing. I'll wait.
I'll wait.
I don't know how many games he had. Dude, let's hold on. While we on that subject, let me just go and see how many times our good old boy Jackson Arnold had more than 100 yards passing. If y'all can just bear with me right quick. I'm just kind of torn right now in between all this crazy stuff and everything, man, that Oklahoma is not going to be good next year, and I just don't understand it. So just bear with me. Just bear with me.
Go easy. Be easy.
All right. I'm opening it up right now. All right. Scores. We're gonna check back last year. All right. So we're going. Okay. So Jackson Arnold. Okay. I'm sorry. I have all kind of stuff that I don't want on here. So let me. All right. 2024 conference SEC. All right. Quarterbacks. Complete. Okay. All right. Here we go. Jackson Arnold. Passing. All right. Here we go. Jackson. All right. So we're gonna do a whole. I'm just gonna pull it out here so y'all won't know I'm cheating. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie on a young man. All right. I don't lie on him. Can you pull up this? Let me pull up this stat. Why is y'all playing music? I don't know damn music on here. All right, here we go. Share it. All right, Jackson Arnold. He had a pretty good season, through some people's eyes. All right, here we go. Let me hold on. I'm gonna make sure I get this right. All right, pull it up. Go large. All right, there we go. All right, here it is, guys. Jackson Arnold. First game, he had 141 yards against Temple. So that's one. Against Houston, he had 174 yards. Here's two. Against Tulane, he had 169 yards. That's three. All right, here we go. Against Tennessee, he had 54 yards passing. 16 attempts, 54 yards. I can go out there and throw for 54 yards on 2 carries. two down passes. All right, against South Carolina, it's 4. He had 225 yards. So pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. 7 games he had over 100 yards passing. And then 2 games he had over 200 yards passing. And that's it. So John Mateer is not no damn gamble. John Mateer is a savior. He's the right person for the job. And the least he's thrown, the least game that he thrown for was 115 yards. Everything else has been 250, 375, 255, 295, 327, 390, 249, 352. So one game he had 115 yards against one team, but he ran for 197 yards in that game. So damn sure a great improvement for what we had last year. So look, man, I don't know what that coach was thinking of when he said that, but that was asinine as crazy. I don't know what they are seeing or what they think that is going to happen, but I think that John Mateer is going to come here and go crazy.
He was drinking his own bathwater when he said that, Coach.
I was waiting on it. Hey, the simple fact is he's running scared. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He sees the handwriting on the wall. He sees that it's different when if it was just Mateer, But when you have the three come together that know the system and that run the system and that teach the system, that's a recipe for success. And it just might put us into that CFP. Just might. We still got to do the work. We still got to play that first game. But I'm telling you, the framework and the nucleus is there. It's just a matter of us putting it all together.
Coach,
Hey,
you know,
yes, sir.
you know what them stats told me?
What's that?
Like you've been saying, you can shut him down on passing, but you damn sure ain't going to shut him down on a run.
Hey,
Not enough Joes.
I think what the gentleman on 3 said was correct.
Yes.
Is John Mateer has never had a defense.
Yeah.
Never. He's
Yeah.
never had a defense to where he can go out there, get a comfortable lead, and don't have to worry about, are they going to come back? Do I got to go out there and do some miraculous stuff? Do I got to go out there and be Superman and make these? You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Is really?
No.
Wow.
What's going on?
What?
Well, we can discuss it. We can discuss it. I think that's wrong, but that's your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Kirby is a better defensive coordinator than he's a coach, but he's won 2 championships, so we can't say that. But I think that Lincoln Riley is a better offensive coordinator than he is a coach. So we can tit for tat and say that, but I just think that he's had bad luck with injuries. We saw what he did when everything worked in his favor. 10-3.
Okay.
10-3.
Can I say something? I hear where he's trying to go, but let's check this out. If that is true, how do we have competitive depth? And how did we know what pontificated last season? We know the total story, but why is everybody so concerned about OU and being able to put everything together? I get what you're saying, and I know it comes from a hurt place, but we were right here with you, understanding he has some areas that he needs to improve on, and we're holding them to the fire. But you cannot say anything about his recruiting, because if you start looking down the line, you'll start seeing every time you mention a name, the next name behind it is just that more impressive.
Well,
Exactly.
I think that Kirby did all those great coaches that we mentioned that were defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators did not have to come in there and rebuild from scratch.
That's right.
BV's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be realistic. Let's not try to sugarcoat it. Let's not try to. I don't want nobody to be butthurt. I think that BV walked into a situation that was overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lincoln tore this damn thing down. He tore it down, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. OU revenge tour. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with you saying that because it don't bother me. I think a lot of people don't see it from a coach's point of view. I've taken over a program to where they didn't have anything. They didn't have the foundation. They didn't have the support. They didn't have the funding. They didn't have the nutrition. They didn't even have a bus to get us to the games. But as we got there, and it's all about us. It's all about us 54. It's all about us 52. It's all about us coaches. It's all about us doing. We worked and worked and worked and got things moving in the right direction. Now, the school now gets charter buses to come get us, take us where we got to go. We got a nutritionist staff. We got an AD and everything, man, that gives us what we need when we need it. because we've shown that we are a proven commodity. I think BV is showing that he is a proven commodity. He is a proven winner. So this is the year. This is the year. OU Revenge Tour. This is the year that we find out how good BV is because he has everything at his disposal. He got 2 offensive coordinators. He got 5 defensive coordinators on one side. So there's no excuses. We're going to really find out what OU is made of this year.
Well, Coach, to piggyback off of what you said, here's where I've been defending BV since he landed at Westheimer Airport that night. BB walked into a house with the cupboards bare, with barely enough sugar, salt, and flour to make a pan of biscuits. He literally had to put a grocery list together and go to a supermarket and buy groceries.
Yeah.
And the foundation of the house was rotten. The boards were rotten. He had to remodel, pour new concrete, build a new foundation, buy new groceries. I would like to see any coach step into a situation like BV did when he arrived at OU and come out successful.
Yeah. And I just want to piggyback. Hey, I appreciate you putting that out there because it's something that maybe we do need to talk about. But understand, just remember, LR had a certain workout person that believed in speed D and certain type of workout. So what type of players, when BB got here, he knew he had to tear it down to the studs. And that was that first year, that's all he could say is, you understand, we got to tear it down to the studs, because he knew what was left.
Lincoln Riley's players should have been playing for the NFL All-Star game, playing flag football. That's the only time Speed D comes in to effect when you're playing flag football. When you playing big boy ball, you need those big boys in the trenches. So here's another thing too. No other coach had to rebuild a program during the beginning of the NIL era.
Ooh. Oh, bingo.
Okay. So if Dabo or Kirby or Lane Kiffin or whoever had to build everything from scratch with an NIL to where money became an issue, money became a priority,
So
I think they would be struggling too, because you can't go out there and get the same people that you used to get just because of your name. I can stay home now and make that money. I ain't got to go to Alabama. I ain't got to go to LSU. I ain't got to go to Georgia. I can stay here and go to Texas Tech or Baylor or SMU. I ain't got to go. So I think it's very unfair that we as fans try to put a lot of this pressure on him to win. We see that across the landscape that every coach is struggling to get players because it's all about the money. What are you going to offer me? What am I going to make? So the era of getting 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 5-stars in the same place like Georgia used to do, can we say that that's dead? Or are they still going to do it? Because I haven't seen the stable of running backs that Alabama used to have. I haven't seen that yet. Is that because DeBoer coming in wants to spread the ball around and he wants the receivers and skill guys versus the bruising running backs that Alabama is known for? I'm just asking you guys because I want to try to speak facts instead of just speaking from my heart, because that question, if I was a real OU fan and 10 toes down and you can't say anything negative about Oklahoma, I'd be pissed. But I'm going to be open and honest. There are some people that think that way. about BV?
I'm going to say yes on the board because if you've seen him at Washington, he spread the ball around, spread offense. So he's, for whatever reason, he's bringing that to Alabama. Me, I like the balance attack approach. A little bit of pass, a little bit of run. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. I just know this that it can also be a blend when it comes to what he has. But the main thing is, did he have to start from scratch? He didn't have to start from scratch. He took over what Saban had set up. And that's the difference between LR and Saban. When the next predecessor came, what was left for them to build upon?
No,
Sooner Revenge Tour.
No.
You're not. I'm not getting mad, Coach. I'm trying to bring him to how we're seeing things.
But
when you
Mike,
look at last.
But before you say that, sometimes we need to have the uncomfortable conversations in order to address things. So I'm loving this from OU Revenge Tour because it's the uncomfortable conversations that we need to have.
Awesome. But what I'm trying to explain to him is the first season, BV he had to piece together a football team because Lincoln took half the damn players with him. He did. His first year, he didn't have a starter one on that team. The second year, we go 10-3. Last year, another worse season. But look at the variables before you. OU Revenge. We lost all of our main weapons in the receiver corps.
Yeah,
our offensive line was dropping like flies. And we had a quarterback that was subpar. We had two idiots up in the coach's booth that didn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Now, OU Revenge Tour, I appreciate you saying what you're saying, but you gotta look at the little things. You gotta look. Go ahead.
I help you out, Coach. I help you out. Here's what you're trying to say. All right. Bob Stoops has been there Bob Stoops was there for a long time. His coaching tree being plucked almost every single year, from Mangino to the Pirate himself. Then you got Chuck Long. Then you can go and get Kevin Wilson. Then you can go get Josh Heupel. Then you can say Lincoln Riley. And then you can say the coach right now, Jeff Levy. What does all those guys have in common? Great offensive minds. Great offensive minds that can get the skilled players in to run their scheme. Mike, you're absolutely right. We had two idiots in the booth trying to draw up plays in the sand to move the ball. So not only and we know now since he's gone, Seth Luttrell tried to put the people that he wanted on the field to run his scheme, to run his play. Now you have an offensive coordinator that's like Lincoln that puts the ball in the skilled player's hand immediately. That is going to cause you to be more effective. That's going to cause you to be more deceptive to defenses trying to game plan for you, because last year the defense knew you couldn't throw the ball. So they loaded the box and put pressure on a quarterback that only saw one progression, and that was it. They saw him throw to the quarterback, throw to the tight end that had two left feet. So this year, we got a quarterback that has been with his OC for 3 years. We got a quarterback's coach that's been with the quarterback that has came here for 2 years. We got talent all over the field, receiver-wise, as long as they stay healthy. We have a great offensive line. So I get what you're saying. The reason why BB had 2 bad years, that first year, I don't give to him. I give that to Lincoln because Lincoln knew what he had and he got the hell out of here quick. He could not let that team tarnish his legacy before he went and got paid. So Lincoln decided he wanted to jump ship. Cool. When he did, he took everything. It's fine. BB did not want Tom coming here and say, hey, Lincoln did this, Lincoln did that. Why are you blaming me? So I get what you're saying, OU Revenge Tour. But here's the finished point I want to make. Every time that BB had an offensive coordinator that knew what he was doing, a defensive coordinator that knew what he was doing, and everybody was healthy, he got 10 wins. So I believe we will get the same repeat this year. Hopefully everybody got that. Hopefully that broke it down to where everybody understands.
Thank you, Coach. I was trying to explain that in my own special needs way, but you nailed it on the head.
Yeah, and thank you, David. I don't put that first year on him, but he is not going to blame Lincoln. And another thing that I don't like about BV that most people wish that he wouldn't do or didn't do. I wish that he would have brought every single damn player that wanted to go with him when he left Clemson. Because if he would have done that, I can tell you right now, it's proven. You can check on Greenville News, you can check on Clemson, Tide, whatever. 14 players wanted to leave when BB left. 14. He said no to every last single one of them. Only reason why we got Canick didn't go. Canick said, I'm going where you go, and he left. So I love the uncomfortable conversations because it allows us and everything, man, to think outside the box. And I get it, man. I'm happy that we're having this conversation. But I get what everybody's saying on BV's side, and I get what everybody's saying on your side, OU, Revenge Tour. But we have to address the issues before we start saying BV is not the guy. All right. We're gonna move on to some of these comments and everything because I want everybody to have their little say so. OU fans got too spoiled under Stoops with Riley in the Riley's year. Yes. 7-on-17, Coach Ricks. Hey,
Yes.
that's what Speed D is. Speed D is 7-on-7 flag football. Yes, I remember we had a yoga instructor with Lincoln Riley for strength and conditioning. Yes, he believed in the rubber bands is more powerful than the weights.
Bingo.
Bingo.
All right. So, all right. Let me see what else you got in here. I think the fans still like BV. View the two 6-loss seasons as explainable hiccups over on the right values. You could really view them as growing pains. But I like what somebody said here. Let me go back to it. Let me get back to it. Right here. Enjoy the rebuilding. OU Revenge Tour. It makes you appreciate it more because you're seeing it firsthand. You're seeing how it's done professionally. Because BV, I'm telling you guys, I live out here. I know some of the parents. They were pissed that BV said no, that they cannot send their sons to OU. Because they came to Clemson for him. Not for Dabo, not for Clemson. They came for him. So, just wanted y'all to know. All right, guys. What else we want to talk about? Because I think that asinine coach from the SEC don't know talent from his asshole. Because John Mateer is an upgrade from what we had last year.
I agree wholeheartedly, Coach. I mean, there's an old saying my daddy said, the proof is in the pudding and the eating thereof. And Mateer has already proven to me, watching his videos on YouTube, that no matter if he was at OU, Alabama, Texas, any team in the SEC, he's got what it takes, the moxie, the leadership, he checks all the boxes of what you want in the leadership position at the quarterback.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing, Mike, and I think Jason said it best. It seemed like a lot of people love chaos. They love chaos. They love to complain and bitch and moan and all this. And like I said, I'm cool with it. We need it. We need it. But injuries last year with a bad OC was a disaster.
Facts. And not only that, then you had remember those people that would have been built up by LR. That would have been the year that they would have shown they were ready. We didn't have that, especially on the offensive line.
Well, here's the thing too. Also, we had a quarterback that would sneeze and fumble the ball left and right. So
I left that softball throw up to you.
Well, I mean, I'm cool with it, guys. I really am. The reason why I came on here today was to compare Diego Pavia to John Mateer. How is Diego not a gamble, but John Mateer is? That's all
exactly.
I'm trying to figure out. How can you say a guy that came from New Mexico State, which I don't have anything against them,
yeah,
but at least Washington State plays a Power 4 schedule.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you say. They play better competition.
I'll tell you what OU's in appearance to me right now. And I'm going to use my favorite horse racing metaphor. In appearance, they haven't proven themselves on the field, but they are appearing to be like Secretariat was when he won the Triple Crown back in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, here's a great statement from Jason. The other part is that we act like winning all those Big 12 titles was something special, when in reality, all we did was cover up all those flaws until we got into the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because we as OU fans, there were times we were like, we don't want to go play in the CFP. Not with what we got. That time we had to get when we had Kyler Murray and we played in against Alabama. Nobody wanted that. Nobody. I mean, just be honest. Nobody wanted that. To get there and do what? Get embarrassed again? And that's exactly what happened, because we went there with the Power Rangers instead of going there, man, with the damn the damn Lord of the Rings. We went there with the damn Potter Puff Girls. So you can't go in there with Billy Blank's warm Tabo trying to beat Alabama that's in there, lifting down buses and tractors and tools and shit, and you go in there with them powder puff shit. Man, get the hell out with that stuff, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, y'all don't know football if you're trying to compare Lincoln Riley's defense to what BV got right now. It ain't no damn comparison. It's not a comparison. So, hell, coach, he said, I barely got it into my damn seat, and it was like 28-3. Yes. Because the kid that Lincoln Riley did not want, that's out of Oklahoma, ran all over their ass. He ran smooth over their ass.
3-star.
Because Lincoln Riley didn't think he was good enough. So I'm gonna say this nicely, and we're gonna get off here in a few minutes. I think Lincoln Riley is a great OC, terrible coach. I think BV is a great defensive coordinator. We don't know what kind of coach he is yet, because he really hasn't had a chance to have everything go his way. He's always fighting either something that's unprecedented. Who gets 6 wide receivers hurt in one season? Who gets 6 or 7 offensive linemen get injured? Who loses their offensive coordinator? And then we got 2 asinine pit players in the seat that can't even call a good game. Me and Jason on the sideline calling the damn plays they should run, and they don't even run them. You running jet sweeps to a damn 6'4", 270-pound tight end that can't run but a 5'8". So, excuse me, man, if I'm trying to be realistic and tell you guys, man, that this is going to be a magical season. Stop putting down John Mateer and saying that he's a gamble. I think John Mateer is an upgrade from what we had.
Coach, if there's one address about,
What's up? Say it again.
if there's one thing I can address about BB is I would like to see him get better at time management in a game. He has had some questionable moments in time management. I would like to see him, but in his defense, when you got what happened to you, I mean, human nature kicks in, and you're like, "What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?" You know. So, but I would like to see him get better at time management.
I believe he will this year with Kevin Wilson. I believe he will with Kevin Wilson. I believe Kevin Wilson is going to be the greatest hire besides nagging that Brent Venables is going to that has done. He's going to allow BV to really focus on the defensive side, and he's going to let BV know because BV trusts him. BV knows that he knows what he's doing. He's going to let BV do the defense. Kevin Wilson, Arbuckle, and all the coaches on the offensive side are going to scheme up some plays, man, that's going to be very effective. Look, you can't have this many great coaches on one staff and not be productive. I mean, that's just being honest, guys. I mean, we should have an analyst for management. We got one. So, well, guys, my wife is giving me the green light. We got to go somewhere. I just wanted to jump on here and address this crazy ass issue that John Mateer is a gamble.
Big salute, man.
Big salute.
And also to congratulate you guys. We went from 291 Tuesday to now we at 307 subscribers and everything, man. So we broke the 300 mark. We wanted for Friday. In the right direction. Just want everybody, man, to know I appreciate all the love. And Bishop appreciate it more than anything, man, because we're always trying to address some of the things, man, that most OU fans want to hear and what they're talking about. So my main thing is to get on here with Bishop and with Mike and with Jason and whoever wants to come on and have those uncomfortable conversations. I'm okay with what OU Revenge Tour said. I have no problem with that. My problem is that if we're going to talk about those things, let's talk about all of it. Let's not pick and choose what we're going to talk about.
Correct.
You know,
and
let's not pick and choose.
Stepping up. Hey, that takes a true leader to say what's on his mind. Big salute.
Yeah.
And
Mike,
and
anything you want to add, Mike?
Here's another thing people don't fail to realize. Through the hell we went through last year, who did Brent hold accountable? He didn't hold Seth or Joe John or anybody like. He held himself accountable. And I admire that about Brent.
If we had more coaches that were like BV, there'll be a lot more coaches that have the same record because a lot of coaches don't have that. They don't have the gumption to say, you know what, I don't want that player to come here. Because it'll be wrong to take something from Dabo. It'll be wrong to do that to my friend. It'll be wrong. Some coaches don't think that way. Yeah, Jason, I'll be there, bud. I'll be there. I missed it last week. I got my list, but I missed it last week. I ain't gonna lie. I was tired as hell last week. But thank you guys for jumping in with me, man. I appreciate it. But Bishop, we're gonna be on tomorrow, man. At 3 at 2. We're gonna go in before the ball game or after the ball game.
Well, we could talk about it.
All right.
Not sure.
All right. Well, hey, Jimmy and Jesse and Sofix and Jason and Kimberly K and OU Revenge Tour and let me go back through here, man. And Seatbelt Jimmy.
Yeah.
Who else is in here?
Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame.
Sooner Cowboys is in here. Sooner in
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, our brother from another mother, Jason Watkins from Hall of Fame college football, the ever so dapper and cool as the other side of the pillow.
And OU Revenge.
And OU Revenge.
Hey, OU Revenge Tour, man. Hey, thank you, man. Hey, stand tall on your business, man. Look, I like
Yeah.
what you said.
I do too.
I just think, man, that we need to word it a different way. But we'll address that, man. We'll address that next time. But Jason, I got my list, man, and like I said, we'll jump on your show tomorrow night, and I'll get that list out. Until then, man, horn sideways, and then you just ease that motherfucker sideways downwards, and then we do it that way. All the love and respect in the world, man. You guys have a wonderful day, man. I will see you tomorrow, man. Until then, Boomer Sooner, horns
Boom
down.
sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
Peace out. Coach Rick's out.
Money, money making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money, I'm just getting money. Money making good, my money need a loan. I'm just getting money, I'm just getting money. Money making good.